And we should be live. Hello, everyone. It is Friday, February 10th. The time is around 8:03 p.m. And welcome to the first Friday Night Live from home in quite a while. If I sound a bit nasally and look a bit out of it, I am still under the weather. Unfortunately, I've been battling an illness ever since I got back from Montreal. And most of my symptoms went away, like the cough and the sniffling. Everything was away by Tuesday, but it's just been crushing headaches since then. And today I've found myself with a stuffy nose again. So I don't know. I don't even know what the hell I did all week. Like, I made 2 videos. I did 1 live stream. I basically slept 11 hours a day. I didn't binge watch anything on Netflix or Prime or anything like that. I have this new PS5 I've barely touched. Speaking of which, embedded SRAM. I saw your friend's request and several others, actually. You're the only one I remember. I will get to that when I open up the PlayStation app. Anyways, in the chat, I see Sheena Marge says, happy birthday to Charlie. Charlie, happy birthday. Marie Palmer, Brad Palmer, MJM Reviews, Chris G, Sanjay and Kingston, Sheena Roberts. Ooh, the mod squad is here. Look out. I think I saw Yogi and Vivian Johnson as well. Kuzja, Jetset18, Sapand, Lisa Wing Zero, Jennifer Gala. You just got an Osmo 6 gimbal. Very nice. What phone are you using with that? Kathleen Doss, George or Jorge, I always forget. Gabriella, Tom Bikes, Embedded SRAM, Anthony, and everyone else. Welcome to the stream. Since I'm not feeling well, there will be no edibles or adult beverages. We are going with a good old-fashioned Lipton's tea, actually. So, cheers to everyone. Sorry for the lame drink. Gotta do what's best for you, I guess. Happy birthday again to Charlie. Chris Mills in the house. So, today I went out. I did make 1 video today. It's kind of a lazy video, and it's kind of a repeat of a video I just did. But I wanted to celebrate something. I don't know if that's the right word, but 2 days ago, the City of Toronto made the Yonge Street bike lanes permanent at a vote of 22-4, I believe. Although our knucklehead mayor was still pushing to keep them temporary. So I wanted to do that, but I coupled that with something. I've been having some trouble editing videos, particularly the video today that went up. When I record a video at night, what happens is, maybe I could show you guys. Oh, by the way, we are going to watch some new content or not yet seen content later on this stream. And by later on, I mean soon. But the video, especially the one I uploaded this morning, I was not able to get to render. Montreal, St. Catherine, where are you? St. Catherine's at night. Play. Oh, there's a failed one. Anyways, yeah, I probably should have prepared this part. But just to give you some insight, if you look closely at the sky here in the background, left, you'll notice a lot of noise. The snow is kind of obscuring it. But what I like to do, because I film with a small sensor camera, is I like to run this through what's known as a denoising filter. And that cleans that up and that makes it look nice and crisp and you can't see all that noise in the sky. And if you ever see footage filmed at night with these little DJI cameras, that's what happens. But my computer kept crashing when I was doing it. There was an update to DaVinci Resolve Studio, and I think that update was making it so my computer could no longer handle this task. It was my video card only has 6 gigs of RAM. It's like a 2060. And once you go over that 6 gigs of RAM, it gives up the ghost and it stops doing it. So to remedy that, I looked up a new video card. I don't need anything powerful. I just need more VRAM. So today's video was kind of a double thing. I hopped on my scooter and I rode down into downtown. So we celebrated the Yonge Street bike lanes being permanent, and I bought a Galacuro GeForce RTX card. It's a 3000 series and it has 12 gigs of RAM. So hopefully that'll be the end of my problems. My other computer has an 8 gig of RAM video card. That's an RX 570, but that's not particularly fast. With long story short, life's going to be good. I'm going to be able to edit properly and not pull my hair out and not spend hours and hours and hours trying to clean up footage. And I know most people will say, like, who cares? I don't even notice. But I notice, and it bugs me, and I want it to look better. So that's why I do it. Anyways, so yeah, we've got a new graphics card. So after the stream, I'm actually going to rip my computer apart and do the swap. So that's what I'm up to. And then I'm going to sell an RTX 2060 card. So I think I could probably get a few $100 for that. But there we go. RevView says 8 gigabyte RX 580 and 64 gigs of RAM. Still rocking the RX 580. Those are solid, solid cards. Anyways, that's what I did today. I wasn't out very long, but I recorded the scooter ride back home, and I didn't just take Yonge Street. So I will play that video as well. So this first video I'm going to play, I already showed a preview of it, and I put it in the title of this one, but it's going to be the Up Express. That's our train that shuttles you back and forth between Union Station and the Toronto Pearson Airport with 2 stops on the way. This is my way back from Montreal. So that's what we're going to be watching. So let's fire that video up. If I can find it. There we go. I'll turn off the music. Hopefully, let me know if the background... I'm not wearing my headphones or checking the audio. So hopefully that's okay. But we are just leaving Terminal 1 at Pearson Airport. And this is going to be looking out this window the whole way, which is me just holding my camera like that. Chris Mills recently installed an RTX 5000 on a graphics machine. An RTX 5000? Does that make sense, since the 4090 is their highest card? I'm not sure if I'm following you, Chris. Embedded SRAM says, as an AMD engineer, I do not approve of the NVIDIA purchase. Well, if you will happily send me a 7900 XTX, I will have to upgrade my case and my power supply and probably throw a few more fans in there, but I would gladly take that. And it's funny you mentioned that, because AMD cards have always lagged behind NVIDIA cards in the software I use. They kind of prefer CUDA over OpenCL, but AMD seems to have picked up the slack, and the 7900s are performing very well in DaVinci Resolve. So I would absolutely go with an AMD card. Chris Mill says enterprise card. Oh, a Quadro. That makes more sense. Yeah, I have no use for a Quadro card. I'm not doing like Blender or any type of crazy rendering or like that. I'm literally just rendering videos of me walking around the city. But I get it. I know what you're talking about now. And yeah, I still sound like shit. Gertej says, where did you get that mug from? I have no idea. I believe it came with like Hershey's Kisses in it, and I got it as a gift from a coworker one year, and I've just kept it. So we are looking south. This train is currently heading east, but soon it's going to head south. And this would be going towards Union out of the right window. So it'll be the south/west facing window. And I thought about uploading this video. I'm going to upload the full flight from Montreal to Toronto, and I'm going to upload that on the main channel. I just rendered that out today and uploaded it. But I don't know about this. I might throw this video up on Johnny Stumbles, but I needed something for this live stream, so call it the sacrificial lamb, but we're going to watch it now. In the video, do you film a subway ride to Eglinton Station as well, says Anthony. No, this is literally just Pearson to Union Station. Adam says, did I hear the breaking news about John Tory? No, I did not. What would that be? David is rocking an AMD Ryzen 3700U. That sounds like a laptop chip with Radeon Vega Mobile graphics, 8 gigs. So yeah, you're using a shared. When you have an integrated graphics card, it uses your system memory, it shares it with it. Yeah, feel free to AMA, ask me anything on this. Literally anything goes, as long as it's not hateful. And if it's like overly personal, I just don't have to answer it. So we can just keep it easy and hang out while I try to get better. Did you do a subway ride in a separate video? I don't like recording in the subway, Anthony. The reason for that is there's nowhere to point the camera. Like, if you're out in public, I get it. You're going to get caught on camera, and I have no problems if people end up. But if I'm just sitting there on a subway train, pointing the camera at other people while they're just trying to like commute, I think that's a little weird. So I don't like doing that. I know some people have no problems doing that. Like, we all have our own compass to follow and what we film and or what we will film or not. If it's one stop or two stops, fine. But a whole ride like that, I'm not. John Tory is stepping down as mayor? What? What? Is that really happening? Stop the presses. Let me, I was bashing him pretty good on my video today. Mayor John Tory had a relationship with a staffer. The admission threatens to put Tory's leadership into doubt in the government of Canada's largest city in turmoil. Well, it's not. At least he's not smoking crack on the job or driving home drunk, and then the police are escorting him there instead of escorting him into a holding cell where he belongs, unlike a certain previous mayor that we had. But I will look into that more as soon as we're done this stream. Emo's music channel member for 4 months. You now have 963 subscribers, closing in on 1,000. Congrats to you, Emo's music channel. 963 closing in on 1,000. Don't forget to check his channel out, and if it's something you're interested, hit the subscribe button. Julie says he's holding a press conference at 8:30. I'm going to be competing with that press conference. NF says, when is the next live? This is it. I have no plans after this. Sunday night on the Stumbles channel. I only went live once last week on the bike. I was hoping on going live outside today, but really I just no gas in the tank. And tomorrow I'm going to try to make a video or two. Sunday we'll see, but realistically next time I'm out and about live will be Monday or Tuesday. Tom Bikes took a pic of John Tory in his office an hour ago. I had a run-in, not a run-in, but I captured him on my live stream of the Santa Claus parade. Embedded SRAM says, why the strong dislike of Apple products? Always hated Apple as a company. They're downright evil. And I've always hated their operating system. The one mouse button thing really got to me. It's just, you can't use Mac OS and use Windows and tell me Mac OS is like the smarter, more intuitive system. They're not even comparable. Don't like Apple. Hated the iPhone since day one. Don't like the Lightning port. They should have gone with the standard. Don't like the fact they never had SD cards. Don't like the fact that they started the trend of building in batteries or glass front and backs, making phones intentionally not durable. Now they were the ones who removed the headphone jack. They're anti-repair. There's just so many things wrong with that stupid company. I don't like them. Anyways, but you're free to like them. And you're watching this video on an iPhone right now, actually. That's what I'm using as a webcam. So I give them credit. They do have excellent cameras in their phones. Amy says, I know this is going to sound stupid, but you have become so knowledgeable about every building in your country. I don't know about that, but thank you. Commando says, do you just use e-bikes? You should do more cycling videos. Yeah, I'm looking at my single speed now, actually. My single speed needs a new chain and new tires. I'm hoping to either fix it up or buy a new one and get back to like regular cycling videos this spring. That is something I'm very much hoping for. And I noticed I was a lot more fit and in a lot better shape when I was riding the single speed. That's one of the reasons why I chose the single speed over a geared bike to begin with. Sapan says 55 likes and 217 watching. Thanks for tuning in. Anthony still can't get over what happened to me last year. What happened to me last year? I think we had a clean slate last year in terms of incidents or anything. Jeanette misses the Beast single speed. I'm looking at it now, all dirty and rusty. I think I'll revive it and bring it back. The last time I rode that bike, I nearly died, and there's a video of that on the channel. Maybe that's what Anthony was talking about. He can't get over what happened to me. Little XO was here. Hello, I heard that you met Ken the other day. Sorry the timing didn't work out on that. Mando says cycling is enjoyable and is the main purpose of the production of bikes. Well, if you go to Amsterdam or Copenhagen, it's the main purpose there is commuting, but it's all the same. Robert says it's not very smart to bike up Mount Pleasant. I do it all the time. I think that's more of the faster route. Emo's music channel, now living in Toronto. Welcome to Toronto. Amy says one more question and then I'll leave you alone. Why is this your last live? It's the last live that I know of. Lisa says nearly died. This is an exaggeration. Yeah, I nearly got concussed. If I didn't have a helmet, that would certainly have been a possibility. And since there's nothing to look at, I angled the camera over at the seats across from me. Robert Armstrong has to go watch the presser. Yeah, I'll get the Cliff's Notes on the presser. That is good. You brought Ken a gift. Amy, that was 2 years ago. No, that's okay, Ali BHG. I don't mind if people if it happened, it happened. But that was 2 years ago. David says, this is off subject maybe, but I'm wondering if the Mont Royal Hill has something on top of it there. Probably some communications towers. I have not been up there in like 10 years, but it does have a hell of a lookout. You get a phenomenal view of Montreal skyline from up there. Sanjay says, please take it easy this weekend so you can recover from your cold. I've been trying to do that all week. I'll just get out and record a few videos. I'm almost out of Montreal stuff. So it's time to get back into the swing of filming regularly in Toronto. Who's Justice? I feel like Johnny is God considering the amount of times he got hurt. I got hurt twice, I think. Maybe I slipped a few times, but I don't think I really got hurt that much. JR confirms communications towers. Audi says hello, salut. You still have my gift? Well, I'll probably do like a Mimico or a Tobacco live stream at some point in the not too distant future. JR 999. Thank you, JR, with the whatever the hell emoji that is. It's funny though. Thank you, JR. Cheers to that. Bill G, yeah, apparently there's a press conference going down. I don't know if I could like play that or simulcast that without getting in trouble on the stream. Do people really want a John Tory press conference on my live stream? Fernando says this developing John Tory story is interesting. If it gets Gil Penalosa in office, I think he would be, I don't know, what is the protocol if the mayor steps down? I know there's a deputy mayor who would probably take in or step in, but I think we would need a whole new election, right? Davey says CP24 has it, but not started yet. Yeah, I don't know. What is the mayoral, how do you, I don't want to try to pronounce that word, succession plan in Toronto. Interesting stuff. Maybe Jennifer Keysmat could step back up. There's trails across a couple of lookouts, gift shop museums, and a lake. And McGill Museum at the southern foot, right? Dahlia. Just tea. Just tea. Your mayor went all Clinton. You know, these people are human beings. Human beings have attractions to other people. It's just when it's someone in a position of prominence, it can blow up like this, right? So whatever he did, he had to know full well this could have been the consequences. So you didn't get away with it, now you deal with it, right? But I'm gonna have to wait and see the full story later on. SR Gots still cranking out those TikToks. Every time I open up my TikTok, my feed is SR Gods. Your stuff is quite entertaining. Hey, Anthony, that's pretty much a regular occurrence. Trains not stopping at a station due to a security incident. And I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, but I don't know what neighborhood this is we're looking out at. Am I excited for the Blue Jays? Moderately so. I'm more excited to see what they're doing with the Sky Dome. What neighbor? Is this like Weston? Is that where we are? Is this Weston? I don't know. Have we made a stop yet? I don't know. What's the weather like right now? 0 degrees Celsius, -1 with a high of 4. Chris Mill says the new bullpen will be cool. It looks pretty cool, actually. Sanjib uses TikTok. I was promised good weather this coming weekend, Lisa. I wonder who promised that in a previous live stream. Gaby says it's very windy out here in Etobicoke. Gordon Freeman, $5. Get well soon fund. And I got my PS5 God of War edition. Yay, congrats on that. I've never really been into that type of game, but it looks like visual candy. It looks so good. Maybe I'll have to check it out. But thank you, Gordon, for the $5. Essergot says that dude going the wrong way in the bike lane on your TikTok you saw this morning was scary. He was moving pretty quick. David says, did you actually report those dangerous drivers to the police? And if so, did they get a call from the cops? No. It is what it is. If you report dangerous drivers every time you see them in Toronto, that's going to become your full-time job. Like, you literally can't walk for 20 minutes without seeing someone trying to hit you or someone else, and the police aren't going to do anything here, unfortunately. Just go on Reddit and read up on the accounts of people who have reported assaults and how little follow-up there has been. I mean, they just have their hands full with other stuff, I guess, but...
Get well soon fund, and I got my PS5 God of War edition ye.
If you catch someone making a dangerous maneuver on film, if there's no actual accident, they're not going to follow up. That's just the way it is. Whose job just noticed in my live stream? I have 2 commas after February 10th. Ooh. No, I don't. I only have 1. What are you talking about? Yeah, MJM. Spamming an emoji will get your message removed. Commando says up here in North York, we barely have any bike lanes, only on Willowdale Avenue. And you will be getting bike lanes on Yonge Street between Shepherd and, unfortunately, not Steeles. I think only Finch. And they'll be coming in 2026, 2027. Although our mayor, possibly soon to be former mayor, not sure what's going on there, was very much opposed to them. Michael Leho says, do you recommend A&W? There's a question. Yes, I love A&W. I think it's a very, very good fast food burger for what it is. But I hate the fact that they don't have any good coupon deals on awcoupons.ca anymore. That used to be my jam. I used to love that. We're stopped at a station, and obviously I didn't have a very good view from where I was. Can't Sleep says, have all the COVID restrictions been lifted in Toronto? They've been lifted for a very, very long time. I don't know about old age homes and medical facilities if masking is still a requirement. To me, it just seems like a no-brainer. If you're going into those places, you do it. But I think that was the only thing that was left once the province lifted them all. Sanjay says there are 2 commas, I think. Try refreshing it. Ove says McDonald's coupons are always clutch. Yeah, I have the app. I do that sometimes. Jennifer Gallus says Toronto is so much better than Montreal. So many things to do. I guess if you've lived in both, you're more qualified. I would say so much different from Montreal. Montreal in the summer, honestly is a better city for taking a walk. It just is. It's a better city for riding a bike. It's a better city from an urbanist point of view. But Toronto is pretty awesome and kicks its ass in a lot of other ways too. So it is what it is. I just see them as like 1A and 1B in Canada. No offense, Vancouver, but that's who they are. Danielle says, Johnny, greetings from Aruba. Greetings. What else would you do in Montreal if you had more time? That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I covered like the obvious main places to cover. I did Old Montreal on a live stream, Saint Laurent, Le Plateau, St. Catherine Street. The Underground City is coming up in a video. I would probably just get deeper into the neighborhoods, look at some of G Corp's videos and see what else would appeal to me. I don't know, maybe go to a Canadiens game. I wanted to go to a comedy show. Don't know. Noel says, greetings from overcast in rainy Da Nang, Vietnam. You agree, Montreal years are pleasant to be around spring and summer. You're in Da Nang. Da Nang? I think it's Da Nang, right? The third city in Vietnam that a lot of people go to. Peter says, Johnny, love your content. Got me inspired to get out and walk around Toronto more and see the different neighborhoods. There we go. Good stuff. Glad that it helped inspire you. Clifford is in Vancouver and agrees with me that the top two are Montreal and Toronto. Just reading some of your comments. Yeah, it's good to have an outsider's breeze through to provide perspective. So we must be, where are we now? Is this, I was not paying attention to this video. There's a metro. Are we getting, I don't know. I don't want to guess where. I'm terrible at this right now. Danielle says, my night walk in Montreal with all that black ice made you book your flight to Aruba. Awesome. Sunjib says, hey Johnny, I have a question. One day, can you make a walking video, Thorncliffe Park? I did that 2 years ago, and somebody complained to YouTube that they're in my video, and YouTube asked me to respond to it, and I just kind of rolled my eyes like they were in public. But rather than make a stink, I just blurred out that section of the video. But you will see that in my Thorncliffe Park video. Maybe I'll go back and do an updated one as well. Virginia Wedlake, $3. Cheers, Virginia Wedlake. Thank you for the support and the super chat. Thank you very much, Virginia. Yeah, so that metro I saw would have been Liberty Village earlier, right around that area. Thoughts on bringing back the Canadian slang term janky back into common parlance? I had a friend in Korea who was American who used janky all the time. Noel says, I followed you on your Bangkok walkabout before leaving for Southeast Asia yourself. I'm dying to get back there. I really want to go March, April, May, sometime around there. I'm going to the Caribbean next month, which should be cool. But I want to get back on an adventure. You're in the best part of the world right now to go visit. I envy you. Chris G says, interesting. Used to live in Thorncliffe Park. And we are rolling into Union Station, which means we are near the end of the video. Sanjay says, is Montreal really safer than Toronto? I don't know. I have no idea. I felt that it was, but that's anecdotal. I also don't feel Toronto is that dangerous at all. John Tory impromptu. Oh, John Tory is making a statement. That's all he's doing. He's making a statement. I don't think he's stepping down or anything. If he does, that'll be interesting. Got out of Dodge just in time. Anthony says, coming to an end of the first video for the live stream. Yes, we are rolling into Union Station. Okay, so I just posted a poll here. Your input would be appreciated. Should I upload this video? Gabriella, $10. Hey, Johnny, please feel much better soon. Sick emoji ice, like a
Hey,
Sunday ice
Johnny,
cream.
please feel much better soon. Sick face, ice cream, soft serve ice cream, tea, champagne bottle.
Thank you, Gabriella, so much for the super chat. I hope I feel better. Thank you. Who do you have on Sunday, the Chiefs or the Eagles? I want the Eagles to win. I have the Chiefs, but I want the Eagles to win. That's my story. I think the Chiefs kind of got willed into the playoffs. Wow, Tori is stepping down. Tori is quitting. Yep, stepping down. Holy shit. This must have been serious. He had himself, what, a full-on Lewinsky situation? Here, this video is almost over. Let's see. What is going on here? We're just going to take a quick look in between videos. I don't think anyone can quite match that situation. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Ooh, there is not a flattering picture of Tori. Oh, we're back to the start of the video. All right, let's kill that. Oh, I didn't log in here. 1 second. Log in. Just log in. There we go. You are now logged in. New. Mayor John Tory steps down as mayor of Toronto. Just announced during his press conference that he is stepping down as mayor of Toronto. Are you doing a TikTok challenge when you say you're going to drink vinegar, says Nicholas? No, I always just put something stupid as like the fourth option. Can we please get Jennifer Keesmit to step back into city politics? If it's not Gil, it should be her. Lisa says he'll be fine. Her life is likely ruined. Let's hope that's not the case, but usually in these situations, it's the person in power who is fine and the other person who is not, right? Pretty sure Kevin Spacey will be fine, right? I don't know anything about this. I'm not qualified to comment on it, but yeah, He admitted to having a consensual relationship with a member of his staff during the pandemic up until last fall. Is he married? I don't know. We got some dirt going on in Toronto right now. This is ridiculous. Doug Ford defends stag party after developers invited. Yeah, there's a whole story that we'll save for Sunday night. Chris Mills says, who is the deputy mayor? Who is the deputy mayor of Toronto? U of T Earth Sciences alum Jennifer McElvey named deputy mayor. I do not know who she is, but I welcome her because I'm very happy to see Tory go. Mayor John Tory has named ANS alum Jennifer McKelvey as deputy mayor of Toronto on the October 24th election. She was re-elected for her second term as city councillor for Ward 25 Scarborough, Rouge Park, now a statutory deputy mayor. So I guess, I don't know what the succession plan is, but I guess this is our new boss, so to speak. Cool. There's someone to learn more about. Do we have more? Ooh, we're already up to 21 comments. I honestly cannot believe this is what did him in, laughing my ass off. I mean, of all the things he did wrong and straight up didn't do, this is what ends his long run as mayor of Canada's largest city. Wild and somewhat hilarious. Yeah, this is completely... I don't know. This could be very serious, and like if he coerced someone into doing stuff they didn't want, this is definitely worthy of... I don't know. I shouldn't be commenting on this. But did your ass recover from the Montreal Falls? Hey, Sheena, the comment's fine. Ralph Smith McKenzie says, very sad news. I like John Tory. To each their own. I'm kind of doing little cartwheels in my head right now. I very much did not like him. He is the reason e-scooters aren't allowed in Toronto. He is the reason why it's been so hard to get bike infrastructure up. He moonlights as a mayor. He's primarily a telecom executive. At his very best, he's milquetoast. Like, I don't know. Good riddance. I don't have much good to say about him or his tenure, and we'll just leave it at that. Anyways, cheers to everyone. What is voter turnout like in Toronto elections? Not good. Not good. Marge says, you still have Dougie to bash. Yes. I just hope that Gil Penalosa or Jennifer Keesmet, two people who ran in our last two elections who were super duper qualified, more so than Tory, and I think nobody gave them the proper consideration, but we have people that are very qualified to actually run a city in this city. So hopefully that's the direction of the future. MJam says, setting up for a video tomorrow. No, not yet. No. Greg says, go Birds, go Blue Jays. Keesmet was like the chief city planner under Tory. She might have been deputy mayor, but she was the city planner. Clayton Crawford, Johnny Strides becomes mayor and opens bike lanes. Thank you, Clayton Crawford, for 1 month of membership under Silver Tier. So should I upload that video of the Up Express? 7% said no, 62% said yes to Strides, 19% said to Stumbles, and 11% said drink vinegar on stream. All right. Anyways, let's get rolling with the next video. I'm sure I don't even know the scoop on the Tory situation, so I can't really comment much on it other than what we've seen on the surface here. Craigie says this deputy mayor seems like she has her head screwed on right or straight. Good. But let's get video number 2. So this video, when I went to pick up this guy today, I filmed the video from his in front of the condo of the gentleman where I picked that up back here. So that's what we're going to watch. Jim Martin says, good evening, Johnny. Hi, everyone in the chat. I hope you're getting ready for a good weekend. I'm getting ready for a lot of rest this weekend. And let's not forget UFC tomorrow. Volkanovski fighting Makachev. What's the chance of more Johnny Cooks? Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. I haven't been up to a whole lot lately, but here we go. Let's hop on the scooter and go for a ride. Michael says, would you double your intelligence but half the remaining days of your life? Or have your intelligence but double the remaining days of your life? How many days are left in my life? Do I know that? Like, if I got hit by a bus tomorrow, would I then just get hit by a bus 2 days from now? Can I choose neither? Because I choose neither. But if I was forced to choose the two, I would have my intelligence and just get high every day and just pretend that's normal anyways. Miguel says, hi, Johnny, what's up? I watched the train ride in Montreal. So amazing. Like you're in Paris, France. Yes, they got those awesome rubber tire subway trains. JP says, is it true Mayor Tory resigned? Apparently, I've been as tuned into that or less tuned into that than most of you here. So I don't really know. Ovace would double the remaining days. Stupider people are happier always. Very true. Very true. But there's always exceptions to the rule, right? William says hi. Gordon says you need to be a super athlete to be in the UFC. You do. But what's cool about UFC is at like lightweight and bantamweight, same with like Bellator too and other MMA organizations. Most professional sports, basketball, hockey, baseball, everything you think of, you need to be like at least 5'11" in most cases. There's always exceptions to the rule. So there's so many like super elite athletes that are like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", who don't really have other professional sports to play at that level. So a lot of them get into fighting. That's why we like some of those divisions, like the lightweight division where they fight at 155, are so stacked because you've got so many of like the elite athletes into that sport, because the other sports, they don't really have a chance because of their height. So I think that it's a really cool way to see some of like the greatest athletes on earth engage in cage fighting. I don't know. I just really like MMA. I think it's cool. Not so into the concussion aspects of it, but the sport is cool. Lisa says, Wellesley, now we are going north on Sherburne Street. William says, how are you feeling today? Stuffed up, little cranky, bad headache. Voice is starting to go a bit. John, sorry to hear that. Very unfortunate. Greg says Pele wasn't tall and he dominated. Yeah, neither was Maradona. Neither is a lot of people, but that is also soccer. Mike T says the short athletes will always have professional limbo to fall back on. There's obviously exceptions to that too. But as a general rule of thumb in North American sports, the majority of the professional athletes are like over 5'11", 6 feet. So I think it's cool that MMA sort of scoops up a lot of the shorter guys that are still brilliant athletes. 200 Japanese yen. Thank you, arigato. Thank you for the 200 Japanese yen. So we are going north up Sherburne Street. I finished up my live stream the other day on the e-bike going the same route, but I end up diverting a little bit. But I'm just going to keep going north here up until we end up riding through Rosedale. Don't worry, guys. I've got my Kleenex close by and on call. Agreed, Vivian. Chris says, hi, Johnny. Speaking about sports, Leafs are practicing at Nathan Phillips Square, and we can watch free this weekend. That's neat. I imagine that'll be an absolute zoo, but that might give me a cool idea for a video. I could walk around that area. I don't think I'll get close to the action at the rink. I imagine there would be a massive security presence there as well, but it sounds like a neat thing for them to do. Are they having a whiskey and Coke? Solid combo right there. Oh, my group chat. Well, John Tory is out. My friend said, well, John Tory is out. I'm going to say... Anyways, Mr. Hippo likes turtles. What else is new? So we are riding north on Sherburne Street in the Rosedale neighborhood right now. And again, I apologize if I'm a little bit out of it. Naughty Brown says, hi, Johnny. Hello. Have you been to Vancouver? If you do visit, would you do a video? Not for a very long time and not really. Does a layover count? What would I do? Would you do a video? Yeah, of course I would. I would love to do some Vancouver videos. But Ken from the Ken Continuum was recently there with his better half, and they did some videos and I think a live stream, if I'm not mistaken. I was looking at that when I booked the $1 flight to Montreal. We were looking at Vancouver flights. Lisa says, tell me you've been getting good sleep. I have. I watched a lot of Impractical Jokers in bed last night. I've barely played my new PS5. I can't even tell you what I did last week. I've just been resting. I don't know. Normally, like when I get a cold, when I worked in an office, I'd call in sick like the next day and I would be back the day after and I'd generally be fine. This time, I've just kind of had my butt kicked for an entire week. I don't know what made this one so bad, but it is what it is. Johnny should go to Calgary. Calgary would be very cold at this time of year. Valerie says, where's the support group for the little 5'2"? And I don't know. Marge says, you're getting old. Maybe that's it. Ultimately, COVID maybe made it this bad. Well, that's also why, like, at the start of the school season, all the students got overrun with illness, right? 2-3 years of, like, avoiding... I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so take this with a grain of salt, but I heard other people who are more knowledgeable than me say 2-3 years of, like, sheltering ourselves just kind of ultimately made things a whole lot worse. But we need to ride this little tidal wave. In other words, this cold and flu season is going to be particularly bad. That's just what I've heard through the grapevine. Sanjay says, weird that AK got sick in Montreal too. Yeah, he got pretty sick. He wasn't even like narrating his videos. I remember that live stream he did where he felt pretty sick. Naughty says, I get sick every time I fly and won't fly now. Recycled air. I've flown many like long haul flights and never felt sick. Usually I feel pretty good after a long flight. Indeed, Christopher, we were just talking about that, but I don't know the details of it other than that, but that is definitely going to give me something to look into after the stream. Who is the Toronto mayor now? I'm assuming it's the deputy mayor, and I'm sure we'll learn a whole lot more about her in the coming days. That stressing and chilly trip to Montreal is the reason for that badass cold? Probably. Montreal was super cold. John says so many people coughing and sneezing around went out. I've been on transit like once this whole time I'm sick, and that was like when I wasn't coughing or sneezing. Thank you, Gertej. We are now going north up the newly permanent Yonge Street bike lanes. They're going to be making some changes, though. They will be trying to add some parking spaces and accommodate delivery vehicles, but they're also going to have like curbside extensions and planters, so it's going to be like beautified a little bit. They're going to work on improving the signaling as well. There's a few areas where they're going to have LED signs banning left turns when shuttle buses are running. So even though they're permanent, what you see now is very much a work in progress. I think there's going to be elevated and separate cycle tracks in some places as well, instead of just these like half-assed curbs with bollards sticking out of them. So I think this is going to get a whole lot better than what it is now, which is great news. Valerie says, my pediatrician scolded me for keeping my children too clean. He said they had to get a little dirty to build up resistance. Well, that's the same thing why so many kids have like peanut allergies these days, when back in the day, almost nobody did when I was growing up, right? Because as soon as kids started getting allergies, we started shielding them, which made their immune systems weaker. And now it's a big, serious problem. You can't even have a peanut butter sandwich in school anymore now. And we owe that to ourselves. And we brought that upon ourselves. They say you should feed like a newborn different kinds of like peanuts and nut butters to build up that resistance. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sick. Give me a free pass. But this is stuff that I've heard. by people more learned than me. Ali BHG says, I've always grown up around peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I mean, you could ask my mom. I did not like ham and cheese day. I did not like salmon day. I liked peanut butter or peanut butter and jam. Those were the sandwiches I looked forward to the most. Protein, it's healthy, fills you up. It's like the perfect sandwich. So many kids today don't even get to eat it. I think it's a shame. Julie says that's a myth about the recycled air in modern planes. The air itself is fresher than in most buildings. That being said, you're also in such close proximity to everyone else, colds will be passed on. That makes sense, Julie. And I've never really felt particularly sick after a long flight. Chris Mills says I ate my weight in peanut butter as a kid. Ooh, I think it's awesome. Gaby loves almond butter. I remind you of Tim Burton. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. We'll just take it the way it is. Sanjib, 250 people watching now. Should we do a poll on peanut butter? Should we do that? It's a weird topic, but I'll make an exception. Only 2 options on this poll. This is a lazy poll. Lisa says, it's a Beal in a pinch. So when I get to St. Clair, I start to divert off of Yonge Street. You love Reese's peanut butter cups. Notice there's an apostrophe on Reese's. That means those peanut butter cups belong to him. Ove says PB&J is greater than Nutella. Nutella tastes delicious, but it is absolutely nothing nutritional in there at all. Dean's vlog literally just finished off a couple of peanut butter sandwiches. Naughty says crunchy or smooth. You know, I like them both. You want to know what I do that's a little bit sick? Sometimes if it's night and I'm going to go to bed and I'm hungry, I will take like a spoon of peanut butter and just eat that. I have the all natural peanut butter that I put into my smoothies, but that is what I do. And I tend to mix it between the crunchy and the smooth. Here is they're installing one of those LED no left turn lights here, right at this intersection. Do you listen to the Smiths? Morrissey? I used to. I haven't listened to them so much anymore, and I never really got into Morrissey after the Smiths. Chatty Cathy says, love peanut butter. A couple of years ago, you were introduced to peanut butter and honey. It changed your life. That sounds like a good combo. David Clippert loves peanut butter, but you're eating Amazon almond butter right now. Expensive, but good. HB Reese, who had worked for Hershey first. There's some interesting information. Lisa says, fuck all natural, craft it up. I buy the Our Compliments all natural. Ali BHG says the real poll should be smooth or crunchy. Valerie says anybody who doesn't remember peanut butter jelly time. Although in Canada, we tend to prefer jam to jelly. If you go into even in the supermarket, it'll say spreads or jams on the thing. It won't say jelly or jellies. It's just a Canadian thing, even though jelly, jam, pretty much the same thing. I know there's a difference, but not much. And what's the other one? Preserve? Jelly, jam, preserve? I don't know. MJM going to bed. John says, John Tory just resigned. Any interest in the job? Mayor Strides, you like it? I am not qualified to run a city. I'd be canceled in 2 seconds. The first day on the job, I would say bike lanes on every major artery. Make it happen, city council. Free transit passes for everybody. We would instantly switch to a model of free transit.
I am a fellow cyclist. I do agree with John Tory ticketing cyclists in High Park. Anyway, get better.
Ralph, thank you for the $5 and for your 2 cents. You're a fellow cyclist. Do you agree with John Tory ticketing cyclists in High Park? Anyway, get better. Thank you, Ralph, and thank you for the $5. You know what? Rules are rules. I think the problem that people had with that is that it's so inconsistently applied. Targeting cyclists, but not targeting motorists all over the city, everywhere. Not a single person has been hit or seriously injured by a bicycle in High Park ever, but several pedestrians have been seriously hurt by cars in High Park. And I think that's the crux of the argument. Like, if you're going to enforce something, enforce fairly and evenly across the board. Don't just pick on cyclists. But to that point, yeah, some of those cyclists get up to like 40, 50 kilometers an hour. They literally do laps in High Park. They're not just going like 5 or 10 over, but they're whipping around it like it's a velodrome. I think the solution to that is better infrastructure, install speed bumps everywhere, make it so they can't do that. It's always better for everyone to build smartly rather than to go around trying to enforce and ticket everything. Just my opinion. So as mayor of Toronto, I would speed bump the hell out of High Park and make it impossible for cyclists to whip through it going really fast. And that way, we have solved the problem. Valerie says jam has pieces of fruit in it. Jelly is smooth. There we go. David remembers. Sorry, I fell behind on the chat a little bit. 80% like peanut butter, 20% don't. We're at 97 votes. We need 3 more votes. 3 more votes. As we are now heading north up LaSalle, we're about to go through Oriole Park. And I am going to clear myself out. Let's see if I can remember to do this. Turn my camera off. I will be back. Turn my microphone off. Do it, do it, do it. You know I'm out of it. That took me way too long to turn the camera and the mic back on. Oh, that took me way, way too long. Gabriella says, may we vote twice if you have 2 accounts. Michelle says, as mayor of Toronto, you wouldn't cheat on your wife either, unlike the mayor of Toronto who has officially resigned. You don't know that. You don't know that. People are human. Well, I'm not married, but if I was, I couldn't say that. We're all humans. But I think the bigger issue is, and I'm not saying this is what happened, but if a person of power is with somebody who works underneath them, you can say they're consenting, but did one person kind of feel coerced into doing that? Right? And I think that's where, a lot of these problems arise where, instead of being 2 consenting adults, it's really one victim and someone who took advantage of them. And that's probably why he just cheating on someone is not a reason to step down from mayor. You're a human. You fucked up. Let everyone know that and let the public decide next election. Right. So I think there's probably more to it than that. Just a hunch. 80% yes, 20% no. Gabriella says, grilled cheese. What's your favorite cheese or cheeses in a grilled cheese sandwich? Call me a basic B. Give me that cheddar cheese, freshly grated cheddar cheese. Valerie says, you have a very valid point. Sapan says, what street is this? This is LaSalle's Boulevard. Well, they says the amusing thing is that someone had relations with Tori. That's probably why the other person might have felt obligated to be in that position. Just a hunch. Just a hunch. But hey, maybe some people are into that. I don't know. Novelle says, no basic B's for me. Only bubbles will do. Do you even know the best way to make a grilled cheese, says Lisa. I know the healthiest way is to use like a Foreman grill and not cook it in oil or grease. Patrick says she was like 30 years younger than him too. Lisa says it's in the oven and you don't use any butter or margarine. My idea was on the Foreman grill. Same thing. But on the Foreman grill, you get a perfect, it's like cooked perfectly on both sides. Whereas in the oven, one side's going to be treated differently. So I think I beat you at your own game with that response. I think a Foreman grill or one of those sandwich presses is the perfect way to make a healthier grilled cheese. All right, I am going to go get myself a drink. That's a bachelor as fuck, a Foreman grill. You know, I had a Foreman grill when I lived in Korea even. I don't have one here. Chris Mill says air fryer. I think this video shuts off for a second. Chris Back says butter is a must for grilled cheese. I'm lazy. I don't cook enough. I just have a tub of margarine just because it lasts way longer. I'm a margarine person just because I'm lazy for that sole reason, but I get it. I get it. It tastes better when you use butter. Anyways, I'm going to go get myself a drink. I'll be back. I don't know. Let's, while I do that, here's a half-assed hotel review from Montreal. While I do that, I'll be back.
Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, February 4th. The time is 6:18 a.m. and outside it's about minus 29 degrees Celsius, but it's pretty good in here. And I am staying at the fabulous Novotel Hotels Montreal Airport. You might be wondering, what the hell am I doing here? Well, I had a 2-night trip planned to Montreal, and that got extended to a 3-night trip when Porter canceled our flight while everyone was at the boarding gate. And they basically told us to fuck off for the night and come back the next day. No reimbursement or anything like that. They said the flight cancellation was due to reasons beyond their control. So this is the place I fucked off to. And I'll be going back there as soon as I'm done filming this video. I have been rebooked for...
There's an unnecessary amount of swearing. So now we are into the bubbly. Gertich says, boo, Porter. You know, it's easy for me to crap on Porter for what happened to me. But every single other airline would have done exactly the same thing. Maybe they wouldn't have been as shitty and not had anyone at the gate. Maybe they would have told us it was canceled a little bit earlier. But they all would have canceled the flight. And none of them would have put me on a later flight that night because there were none. And none of them would have reimbursed me. So it's easy to shit on Porter for what happened to me. But it wouldn't have been any different if that were like WestJet, Flair, Swoop, Air Canada, Rouge, whatever. It all would have been, it would have been equally shitty overall, I think. Except what happened to Porter, though, was they had that $1 inaugural promo. So they invited a bunch of cheap bastards like me, not to call everyone else cheap, but there were a lot of people that were there because it was $1. And then to stick them with this extra night expense that completely ruins any value that Porter gave to us by the $1 flight was kind of funny. They did give me a $150 voucher that I can use towards future flights, which is neat. But that voucher I was entitled to anyways. They said anyone who flies on our inaugural day, who takes the inaugural flight on a route, gets this $150 voucher. And they didn't even give it to me. I had to ask. Somebody else on that flight told me after the fact that they got a $150 voucher and that I was entitled to it. And they didn't give it to me. No, like they got that. I don't know, but I had to talk to their customer support and they sent it to me, but they kind of gave me a hard time over it. Like, what the hell? I was entitled to this. So I guess I'm flying on Porter again. I have until March of next year. The Valcos says, doesn't sound like a very good company. Maybe not compared to like most other companies, but for an airline, it sounds exactly like an airline to me. I'm not, or a North American airline. It is what it is. We don't have great protection in this country when it comes to flying. Chris Mill says flying is an adventure now. Just saw a Wendover documentary on Southwest recent issues. The Wendover movie about IT, like why airline IT is so old. I've been meaning to watch that, right? If you go to the guy who runs Wendover Productions is like a super geek when it comes to aviation.
3 months ago,
he's really, really into planes. There it is. The airline industry's problem with
it seemed manageable.
Absolutely ancient IT. Excellent channel, but this guy is obsessed with planes and flying. Anyways, let's hit some comments till about maybe 9:30, and then we'll call it a night. How does that sound? Thanks for tuning in, all 238 of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Gabriella loved the Novotel in downtown Montreal. Very different from an airport Novotel, though, I bet. Sapan says, try flying with Air Canada. I have flown with Air Canada. I actually have not had a bad experience with Air Canada International. It's always been really good. Air Canada International, to me, feels like a completely different airline from Air Canada Domestic. All right, we got the comments up. We're just going to run through a few here. Let's see. Joe says, too cold for me. Great videos. Thank you. M. Reppin says, I know you don't like to show yourself eating, and that's fine, but especially in Montreal, let's see the fine cuisine. Some photo close-ups. Thank you. I posted a few pictures on Instagram, I think, of the food, and I also inserted some of the food in some of my videos. I'm not really like that's the goal of my channel or anything. TL says, seems there are way more high-rise buildings now than 20 years ago. Looks good. You moved back to Europe in August of 2001. Holy shit, there would be this whole corridor along the Gardiner Expressway would be massively built up compared to 2001. Like literally the cluster, the financial district would look similar, but everything to the left is brand new. Everything. Oh, this person's telling me half the sign was in English and I just stopped reading at the French side. All right, John, have a good night. Awesome video, Johnny. I love Montreal and I must eat at Rubens whenever I'm visiting this. Whoa, this is a long comment. And I know you're in the chat, Gabriella. But your favorite Rubens is the one on St. Catherine close to Drummond. You believe that's the location I passed. Yeah, I think I went by both locations in the video. The last time was there, you had a smoked meat sandwich called Le 76. Oh my God. Next time I'm in Montreal, I'd like to stay at Le St. Martin Hotel. I remember well your videos during that trip and specifically the video of your hotel review. Rubens is great. I think I like Dunn's a little better in that area for sandwiches. But you can't go wrong at either. Thank you, Gabriella, for the comment. And you will enjoy Le St. Martin Hotel. I actually like Le Dauphin a little better. Walter W. Shan says, who has been subscribed to me publicly for 3 years. What would we do without you, Johnny? Thanks, bro. I speak for everyone watching. Everyone watching. Johnny, you nearly recorded a disaster. Or I recorded a person who was like crying out for help. That was the video of someone lying down on the subway as it rolled in. As Montreal department stores go, Simpsons became Simons, Morgan's became La Bay. Didn't know that. Trey Bell, video, cher ami, Johnny, travel gratis, Toronto, Montreal, merci. I generally don't like comments not in English, but when I'm doing them, I'll leave them if they're not offensive. This one, my limited French tells me this is a good comment, so I'm going to leave it. Chimpanzee says, hi, Johnny. Back to your comments about the changes downtown since 2001. Do you think the Toronto skyline will change as much more or less in the next 20 years as in the previous? I think it's going to change more. The reason for that is we have such idiotic zoning that doesn't allow for medium density in a lot of neighborhoods, and we're going to start to see high rises pop up on corridors that don't have high rises. Like at Pape and Danforth, I think there's like a 70-story building there planned. So we're going to see Yonge Street probably fill in all the way from Bloor all the way down to the lake. We're going to see the 2 tallest buildings in the city go up. King Street West is about to become like a serious high-rise corridor through the entertainment district, like serious. So I just think all that pressure from our stupid zoning is going to put massive towers in areas that just don't have them now. So as a fan of skyscrapers and the skyline, I think it's awesome, but I think it's unnecessary. We need to build more of what they call the missing middle in our neighborhoods, much like Montreal did. Gabriella says, Johnny, where's the other Rubens on St. Catharines? I would just pop them into Google Maps. One of them is in a basement, though. I think it's down a little. It's a further east, a bit more from the one that you can look into on the main floor. Bash Brannigan says, except for the Apple hate, great review. We all have our thing. Thank you, Bash Brannigan. Make $750 per day. This sounds like a legitimate comment. The reason most people never reach their goals is that they don't define them or ever seriously consider them as believable. Winners can tell you where they are going. You literally have a channel called Make $750 per day. Watch, subscribe, and watch the video.
Hey, I'm Sarah from Paid Online Writing Jobs here. I'm so glad you found this page. Are you looking for a job that you can do online?
No, but I'm looking for a person that I can block from my YouTube channel. If making $750 a day were that easy, we'd all be doing it. Some of you out there probably actually do make that. Congratulations, I envy you. But most of us aren't going to get there by watching your stupid YouTube video. Sorry. Watching your videos on Montreal, there have been some changes since I was there in the 70s. Neat. Jean Bolduc says, we had a warm, no snow month of December, but we got a record of 75 centimeters in January. Montreal is built in an island 10 times bigger than Manhattan, with 19 boroughs built for families and quality of life. I recommend reading this comment for more information on Montreal. Lauren says, I'm so glad to find this video. I'm flying Toronto-Bangkok with a 3-hour layover, but just got an email saying my Toronto flight is going to be delayed 2 hours. I was really worried about only having a 1-hour layover, but from your video, I'm feeling much better about it. Since I'm assuming you're flying Eva to Eva, I think you'll be okay. Also, they have several flights a day to Bangkok, so as long as connecting one isn't the last one, I'd feel pretty. I wouldn't worry about the 2-hour delay. They tend to make up for lost time on these long-haul flights as well. Good luck and enjoy Thailand. So this person's doing what I'm doing. They're flying from Toronto to Taipei, and then what I did, and then they're transferring to Bangkok. And they saw my video where I made the international transfer, and it was relatively quick. So I don't think they have anything to worry about. And sometimes on those really long flights, if more than a few people from one plane are connecting to another flight, and I have a feeling a lot of people from this Toronto plane will be connecting to Bangkok, they might just hold that next flight a little bit at the gate. They might also speed up this flight to get there a little quicker, something they can do. They burn more fuel, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Jean Bolduc with another comment. Enjoy the world-class cultural city of Montreal. Sheena Roberts, our moderator extraordinaire. Hi, Johnny. I've been enjoying your walks around Montreal. Was there for a day many years ago. Was part of a coach tour. Didn't even get to explore much. So it's been great seeing the city through your walks. You thought the live stream I did around downtown and Chinatown was excellent. Thank you, Sheena. I'm glad you're sorry about my wellness. Thanks for doing the good work as a mod as well. Harjot here says, great video. A great post. I'd forgotten how beautiful the stations are compared to those in Toronto. The Montreal Metro definitely has a cool feel to it. I think their stations are better. One thing that sucks about them is how few ticket stations they have. Like, I think RM Transit complained about that in one of his videos as well. You're always going to find stuff to nitpick about, though, but their metro system is pretty awesome. I'm a big fan. Chris Orr says John Tory just quit as mayor. Yep, he did. I've never seen anyone do that before. Hi, I like walkers. Snow looks like mixed sugar. Okay, I'll like your comment. Sapand says, good morning, Johnny. Happy Friday. Good morning, Sapand. Paul, hiya, Johnny. I haven't watched this vlog yet, but as soon as I get home, I'll watch it. The snow looks lovely in Toronto. We don't get much snow where I live. This is choppy in Whitehaven, Cumberland, England. I have a feeling this person trolls me. This is also Thomas in Winter Haven as well. Now it's choppy in Whitehaven. It used to be Thomas in Winter Haven that I would get these kinds of messages, but since they're generally friendly, I'm just going to click OK. Jennifer Gallus says, yes, the STM is very futuristic. Tubular app says, the cyclist traffic lights for going straight when turn green outside the frame of my video. That's what the other cyclists started to go. Yeah. When you're cycling in Amsterdam, the lights aren't over on the other side of the intersection like you would intuitively think like we do in North America. They're actually on the near side. And that's something I didn't even know about. Marcel says, you must eat at Ruben's restaurant. They have the best food. There are 2 of them on St. Catherine Street. I prefer the larger one. Thank me later. I've been, and it was good. Again, smoked meat in that area, I would go to Dunn's. But Ruben's was also kind of expensive. Their smoked meat, their cheapest smoked meat sandwich was $25. I talked myself out of it, and I went to Mr. Steer instead. And then I had a smoked meat at the airport. Which in hindsight is one of those things where it's like, you're all the way in Montreal, a city known for their smoked meat sandwiches. You're at a place that you know is good. And if it was $22, you would go. But if it's $25, you're not. That's like $3. What? Like, just go. Right? But isn't it funny how we often think like that? Especially when we travel, we kind of talk ourselves out of things. Peter John says, are you not a fan of Schwartz? Oh, Schwartz's is excellent. I've been there a few times. I haven't been there in my last few trips. The thing about Schwartz's, I will die on this hill. I've enjoyed my Dunn sandwiches just as much. I think the meat was just as good. The sandwich was just as good. But Schwartz's is like a one-of-a-kind atmosphere, right? You owe it to yourself to go to Schwartz's. Try to go there at a time of day where there's not going to be a lineup, because you can stand outside that place for a while and line up. But it's like stepping into a time machine. It's really, really cool. It's like I don't know how to describe it, but yes, Schwartz's is if you could only do it once, you go to Schwartz's. But once you've had that, I think go to Dunn's. You're going to get a seat and you're going to get a sandwich that's every bit as good. I don't know what else to say. And there's a bunch of other places as well in Montreal that are just as good. Ask a local. Life of Watts is pretty cool. Glad to see you survived the cold. Life of Walk. And you have a channel. This looks like Toronto. $6 inflation fighting food walk to Italy in downtown Toronto for a mystery bag of food. Today I am walking to the country of Italy to buy food for $6. I did not know they had that mystery bag of food. There's an idea. Ali BHG says, my room looks cozy. Also in the beginning, did I hear correctly? Orange and green lines like in Massachusetts? That's cool. Yes, Ali BHG. They don't have line 1, line 2. They have orange, green, and blue, and I think a yellow as well. And there's a big expansion coming. Travis, so this is the guy when I was waiting to go back to Toronto in the airport. I was kind of talking to some people that I met the night before, and I met Travis, and we were on the same plane. He actually stayed at the same Novotel that I stayed. Greektown was my partial home for the summer of 2016, I believe. It is one of the most comforting neighborhoods in the city. I'm also dealing with this nasty cold you speak of. He got the same cold. Going through Montreal security twice in under 12 hours. Lesson learned. Yeah. Let's hope we don't have to do that again. Agreed. Greektown is an excellent neighborhood. All right, Travis. It's always cool when you meet someone in real life and then just through conversation, they find out you have a YouTube channel, and then later they start watching your videos and leaving comments. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. If you ever get a chance in your travels, try Buddha Bar. Where is Buddha Bar, Dave W? Here is possibly the nicest human being to ever live. Falcom Scott says, have a great weekend, mates, and happy Friday here from London, England. Falcom, thank you. Kramer911 says, I stayed at a cool little place called Kutuma Hotel. Was African themed and the rooms were huge and basically like an apartment. I strongly recommend anyone to try it out. Also, Hotel Bonaventure. Rooms were pretty standard and nice, but the heated rooftop pool was awesome during the late fall when it was cold. Jumped out of the cold into the heated pool while looking at the stars. Did I come across this place? Kutuma Hotel. Oh, that looks neat. Interesting. Good suggestion. Charles, yes, the mayor stepped down, but I don't have details, so other than randomly speculating, I've decided to move on from that particular topic. I'm sure I'll talk about it in a future video. Cheryl Lee says, interesting. You're crazy. Coat should have been a must. It was just for the intro of the video. And I didn't want to have to like carry a coat around or wear like a swooshy coat through the hotel for my video. That's why I didn't wear the coat outside when I recorded that. Ellie and Lou, thank you. Good drive. Maybe Johnny should bring his bike next time he goes to Montreal. I had that thought. All right, Vivian Johnson. Good night, friends. See you after the premiere of the morning. Thumbs up for our sick guy. Thank you, Vivian Johnson. We're about to sign out pretty soon anyways after a few more comments. I've got my new GPU to install in the system, and I've got to polish off tomorrow's video, but I'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Maybe Johnny should bring his bike next time. Yes. Last time I drove up and I really regretted not putting my e-scooter in the trunk of the car. So next time I go to Montreal, if I do that, I'll rent a car and I'll put the scooter, probably not the bike, but the scooter in there, and we'll explore the heck out of the city that way. Lucy says, it's impossible that room in Montreal costs $800 to rent. Fake video vibe. What? It was $150 a night on Expedia. Oh. No, oh, she's talking about my room. Try booking a room there. So she's trying to tell me that this room would cost you $800 to rent, I think per month. And so she's saying that I overstated the cost of the room, but like, no, it's an airport hotel. If you book it the same day, it will be expensive. Tuad Family says, I miss you, Johnny Stride. You miss me. You see me every day in my videos. Gaby says, I see you weren't feeling the effects of your Montreal sniffles yet. That must have started the day you were originally meant to fly back. Not a bad hotel for price and location. YVR, thank you, Gaby. Parents traveling with kids can get rooms 803 and 804 and leave the inner doors open to have an adjoining room. True. But the problem is, if you don't know, if I was in 804 and I don't know the people in 803, that was really loud listening to them come and go and thumping that extra door open and shut every night. So kind of an annoying feature. So this is in response to my video, Wrong Way in the Yonge Street bike lanes. Build a bridge and get over it, precious. I'm just going to roll my eyes at that. I think I saw another like smart-ass comment on this. Justin says, I hate that, so stupid. This was a video where a guy is going the wrong way in the bike lane. Oh, what am I doing? Whoops. This one. Oh, it's not even playing that video. YouTube Shorts are broken. I think someone else. Relax, my guy. Anyways. I'm not feeling well. I'm going to do some work and then get in bed and watch some TV. Well, I want to install my new GPU. But I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you to our mods for their good work. Thanks to our channel members, Patreon supporters. Sorry I was a little bit out of it tonight. I don't know when I'm going to live stream next. It's possible tomorrow if I'm feeling really well, or even Sunday. I will probably, I don't know, because on Sunday night, it's Super Bowl Sunday. I might take Sunday night off from the Stumbles channel. I just might do that. I don't know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for your support. I will. Jeanette is here. Says, take care. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go rest up and hopefully get better. Stay warm, stay safe, and interesting day in Toronto, I guess, or tonight. Have a good night, guys. Yoink.